Hello. It is 10:25. Please excuse my lateness. I've buried some treasure. Cabana chair, D1. I think we have that. If I'm not mistaken, the cabana chair is nothing new. Okay, I'm a liar. We need the cabana chair. That was quick. It's something from Red that we do not have. It is Sunday, so it's turn-up day. I took my time. Honestly, I have been not 100% lately. I've had like a headache. This would be the fourth day. I can kind of feel it there, but it's not like super obvious at the moment. Yesterday, I woke up. I tried to sleep in, and like my head was fine. And then like, at one point, it just said, "Nah, I'm not fine anymore." So I'm afraid that's gonna happen today. But yeah, it's been a rough couple of days, and that kind of slowed me down this morning. I was like, "Oh man, I don't want to be late again." I've been late lately, and then here we are, right? Okay, Jonah's in a good acre to begin with, which is nice. I don't know what the price is though, so I'm gonna grab an extra 150k just to, why not, right? Come on, give me max price, max price. Come on, come on, come on. Oh. Ooh. Okay, that's not great. You know what? Let me also be honest. I had a feeling the price wouldn't be good this week. Just saying, just throwing that out there. I had a feeling. So I've grabbed extra money for this acre, which is obviously not going to work very well. We're going to run out of space. If I could buy everything here, you know, I'd have 2 mil and we'd basically be good and I wouldn't care anymore. So it's basically 130k. Well, it's 129k if I want to be exact. So if I say 129k times 23, that is 3 mil. Look at me, that was just a guess. So if I do 23 inventories, I would hit 3 mil, and that would probably be a good spot. And it's considerably less than what I've done these past few weeks, right? Last week and the week before that were 36 and 37. The week before that, it was that was the 76 price, and I only got 2.6. That was at 22. But at 86, I can do like 23 and get 3 mil, so. Yeah, I don't know. If we can hit 3 mil, that would be nice. That's kind of my rule, right? And like we've been doing pretty well lately, and I'd like to keep doing well. 3 mil would make it. 3 mil would be nice, you know? Like, it's not buying 6 mil and hitting that, because 6 mil's like 42, 40. Like, I got 43 mil in profit last week, or this week rather, and that was cool. That was nice, right? I think I'm okay. Maybe one more. Anyway, so like that was nice. That put me to about like 339 mil in the bank. Now, if I did like a 3 mil week, 3 times 7, that's 21. That's putting us at roughly like 360 mil. And then if I had another 6 mil week, we'd hit 400 mil, right? So like I'm looking at it that way. But I don't know how today's gonna go. Obviously, like, we got Joan in a good acre to begin with, but like if we can get 10 inventories here, that would be cool. But I don't know if we can. I brought extra money, which was a risk, you know. like saying, yeah, let's bring an extra 150k in the acre. Not the best plan. It's definitely a risk, and it did not pay off in this case, but, I mean, what else are you gonna do? So that is 120k. But, yeah, I might have to do some monkey business. Some monkey business. Okay, if I have to be 23, I don't know. It won't take that long. Like, I guess like a half the time. If I do get a spike, it'll be easier to sell this week. I'm kind of thinking I'll just deal with red tomorrow. I've been having like bad luck with visitors lately, so if I do delay red to tomorrow, like it'll be Monday, and then the next person would be Wednesday or Thursday. No, it'd be Wednesday. And then if it's another good one, it'll be Friday. Or if it's something else, it'll... I guess it depends. If it's like Wendell or Gracie, otherwise it would get delayed. I'm kind of like trying to like delay it so it doesn't affect next Sunday. But like next Sunday is probably not important. Like it is a raffle week, so I'm going to feel less inclined to buy. And like I might not have the chance to buy. I don't know. I might be around, I might not. So I'm not 100% sure on next Sunday. So that's why like if I can hit 3 mil this week, I'm not banking on anything next week. Like, here's the thing. If I show up next week and it's, like, max price, yeah, I can buy, like, 5 inventories. That's basically a mil. That takes, like, 15 minutes. That's not really a problem. And it's at least not on the Monday. That's the other thing. Right? A raffle on a Monday. Like, you just don't know. And then it's too hard to track. And I don't want, like... You know, at least, like, if I get the Monday, I can immediately identify if it's decreasing or not, and then I can sell, and then just keep waiting. But I'll never know if the spike's there unless I see it. Okay, I didn't have to do any money business. That's good. I guess I should try to count the inventories today, hey? That'll be a good idea. Yeah, that's 2. So the plan's just to get like 23. If we can hit 3 mil, that's good. But obviously, like, depending on how things play out, we might do more or less. It's already 10:30, so I do have less time than usual. But the past few weeks, we've been getting shown in ideal acres shortly before the end. So it is possible that happens again. And at that point, I could go over 3 mil. Or maybe just reach 3 mil. It really just depends on how this goes. I mean, if I hit 10 here, I'm at least at 1 mil. Been like 9 minutes. So I'm just trying to think. I mean, this should take like half an hour-ish, I think. And then I need to find another acre, and if I could buy like 5 there. It really depends. If I get like another good acre immediately afterwards, I'll be very close to my goal. If I get like one, I'm like that I can buy like a bid in for like 15 minutes, but say that's in like 20, so then that's like 50. Like, then I, like if I get like one okay one and then another okay one, and then the day after that, then the last one after that's good, then yeah, maybe we could go over, and then it'd be closer to 2 hour stream and everything would be normal. Right, we're at a solid 3 so far. Yahoo! We're gonna need that. That is just enough. I don't have too much. I'm trying to think. I don't know if I have too much to say so far. Like I said, I've been like not feeling the best lately, so hasn't been super exciting. We do have the sports fair in 2 days. That's an important thing to remind myself. That's on Tuesday. The sports fair is annoying because it's only from 9 to 5. Basically every other event is 10 to 6, but the sports fair, they're like, nah, let's do 9 to 5. It's way better. Also, Groundhog Day might also be 9 to 5, but it starts at like 6 or 7 a.m., so like there's a little bit of weirdness there. But, like the actual giveaway part, I think, is from 9 to 5 because it starts earlier, something like that. But yeah, apart from that, like then we have that, then there's the moon, and then there's like there's a lot. I went through it yesterday, I think. Like there's a lot of stuff coming up in the next few months. I've always said that it's like backloaded and like there's a lot of stuff going on near the end of the year, and it's very true. Like we have less than 3 months before the 1 year mark, but it's like there's the 2 days. There's also Halloween, but you also get a giveaway from Tortimer on Halloween, so it's not just the Halloween event. There's also another item there. And then November has like Sale Day, which has some stuff. Technically, it has a bunch of red, but you can also get the pinwheels from the store and the grab bags. And then yeah, there's like the other 2 days, like Officer's Day or Mayor's Day, and then there's the Harvest Festival, so that's big. And then December, we just missed out on the stuff in December. Like I did not get the 2 toys that you can get on the 23rd. So I'll do that this year. Finally. And go from there. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, to be honest. Anyway, yeah, so like there's a lot going on. The only thing is like I need to always keep in mind, you know, like I have to remember when these days are. Some of the events, sure, when you play the game, it'll tell you, but not all of them. I mean, like I guess in like in New Horizons, Isabel's always talking to you in the morning, and if there's something going on, she'll tell you. Not to mention like Twitter, he'll show up on Twitter. She'll be tweeting as if it's real life, like, you know. So like, yeah, I guess it's just more obvious, and like the availability is more generous as well. And this, like, yeah, it's like limited to like 10 to 6 or 9 to 5. But like in the newer game, I'm not sure. I was gonna say games, but I don't know. Like the availability is like more all day, so it's easier. But basically, what I'm trying to get at right now is that once I hit the year mark, I don't have to worry about any of that. Like basically, I'm going throughout the whole year, and I'm always thinking, okay, when's the next thing coming up? When's the next thing coming up? And once I've done the year, I don't have to do that. There's only a couple that I would really have to remember, but like only for fun. Like Groundhog Day, if I show up on Groundhog Day for all my characters, we'd see the theoretical ones I would get this year, and we'd see like, would it be the same? Okay, I did not push the stick down enough. That's on me. That's embarrassing. Oh man. Oh my god. Oh my god. Embarrassing. Drop them outside the egg. Anyway. Yeah, so things get simple in the next year. There's only a couple days I would really need to care about. Boy Day is like another thing that I need to worry about, kinda. I don't know if I'll get everything on this town, so like I could do that, and then I could use a second town to ensure that I get everything. But the whole idea is that, like, I play as much as I need to. Like, once I'm basically done, I'm not gonna just wait forever, you know? Does that make sense? Maybe. Like, okay, that's... Is that 4 or 5? I've lost it already. Great. So that's 1, that's 2, that's 3, that's 4. Okay, it's 5. That makes sense. Alright. Anyway, yeah, like, we're gonna hit a second toy day, obviously, because I just started basically before it, and I kind of planned that for that reason, because I was like, oh, I can only get 10 items per year. Let's start before then, and make sure I have enough time to have the shirts. So the 10th, that's what we got. I was recovering from bad sickness before then, so I had time to do research, plan it all out. Anyway, I guess it really depends on like how long it takes to do turnips. I think hitting like 400 mil 40% of the way is definitely possible before, like, by the 1 year mark. We still have, like, you know, under 3 months. I think it's very possible, right? We're only 60 mil off. Technically that could be 1 spike away, but like realistically for me that's 2 spikes away, probably, unless they're like too bad ones, and it would be like 3. Anyway, point is, I think that's pretty realistic. Even hitting like 450 mil, so 45%, that's pretty possible. I'd love to hit halfway, but that's, I mean, it's possible. I think it's like a realistic, I don't know if realistic's the best word. 400 is like very realistic. 500 is like possible, but I don't know how likely it is. I think we can make it happen. I mean, I had like 2 weeks. It was really a span of 5 days where I made like 80 mil. So if I did that, that would make, you know, be very good, very easy. And like if I hit 500 mil next month, then like sure, I'll make a new goal. And like, let's see if we can hit 600. But yeah, like the crazier we go on turnips, the like, yeah, I don't know. Like, we had a bad 6-7 week dry period where I wasn't making anything. That can happen at any point, technically. Or we can just keep rolling in the spikes, right? Like, if we can have 7 weeks where there's nothing in a row, when the spike is always at a 50 or 60% chance, technically we could have 7 spikes in a row. Like, nobody's saying that can't happen. Technically, it's more likely. Actually, I don't know if it is. It's just as likely, maybe. I don't know. That's 6. And the point I'm trying to make here is that, like, we're gonna finish the regular stuff. Well, okay, yeah, sorry. I'm losing what I'm trying to say. Basically, the whole goal is try to complete the catalog 100%. Also try to do the turnips for the post office model. Whichever comes first will determine how I end the game, basically. I'm like, we're not quite at the end game. I think end game for me in this game is when, like, I'm almost there. I don't feel like I'm like, sure, 86% of the catalog, 40% almost. It's really like 39%. No, 34%. Like, yeah, I don't think we're there yet. There's still a lot that has to happen. I think my overall playtime right now, I don't have the right number, but it's at least 200 hours at this point. I'm looking at all the footage I have. I have it all on one drive, but I don't. I have an extra drive in my computer just for footage, but that has like other game recorded footage in there, so like there's not enough space right now. The space situation is actually getting quite tight at this point. I also do have like 500 gigs of this, so it does add up. Turnips rooms are big ones. But yeah, like my drive is like near empty. I have some games that are huge that like I don't play, but I just have it uninstalled, so like whatever. But like, yeah, the other one I kind of need to like transfer stuff off of it so I can have all the Animal Crossing stuff just in one place. But yeah, if I had everything in the one thing, I could just like say like, oh, let's select all properties, look at the file time, or play time, duration rather. But no. So, I mean, I could go to both locations and do that, but I'm trying to buy turnips here, so that's not happening. Let's just say it's at least over 200 hours so far. But yeah, like endgame for me in this, it's like I'm only looking for a couple things. Like right now, I still have all these events, right? Like, we need to be at least a year in before we could even think about being in the end game. But like, the current number of items I have isn't like accurate, right? Like I have stuff on other towns that I haven't brought over because that's part of the end game, right? Like the 5 flower models that I don't have so far, that's part of the end game. all the station models. That's part of the end game. Because in theory, if I'm still playing next year, I'll get them legitimately in my town. Technically, it's like, it's still legit either way. It's just, you know, it's one of those things. Like, in theory, I know, I've seen it be done, but basically you can just keep making characters in your town, dropping whatever they get from the event, and then deleting them, and then making a new character. And you could have everything in one town, but that would require you to make multiple characters over and over again. That's annoying. That's why I made extra towns. But it'll just be a thing that happens at the end. So like, the other day I was saying I have like 200 items left. But that's 17 of those items are the 13 station models, and sorry, that's actually 12 station models and the 5 flower models. So that's 17 there. And then like, yeah, Harvest Festival, that's another 12, and then Halloween is like 14, and then Toy Day's still like 8. Then there's all the island stuff that I haven't got yet, which I want to try to get soon. And then there's all the Mario or like code only stuff. So like there's like 10 Mario themed items, I think, and then like a couple of the NES games are only code, like Donkey Kong 3 and Math Junior maybe. So like there's a lot that like I just, you know, that stuff still needs to happen. And then like Red, right? We need 27 items from Red still. If that message on the board is legit, we'll go down to 26. Sale day's in about 2 months now, and we can just keep buying out Red that day. So in theory, I could basically complete Red or complete him. I don't know. Like, as long as you have good luck, there is like a high chance that, or a higher chance that Red has his exclusive items, and they're equally weighted. So like, if I only need 20 something or less by the time that happens, then we're in good shape, right? Hopefully we can get everything and it won't take forever. Because like, that could be a long stream. I could just be buying out Red for like hours. I've looked into it. I don't think it'll cost me that much money. It'll definitely cost me money, but I don't think it'll be that bad. Like, if on average the store costs like 25k, 30k, it really just depends on how often I have to buy a store out. But like, the lower number, in theory, the easier it is, right? I mean, the problem is that you have to buy everything in the store to like make him open up elsewhere. So yeah, the money would add up. You'd make a little bit of money back selling the items, I guess. So it's not like completely lost. But yeah, it really just depends on how often, or like how many times you have to move him. Now we're at 6 right now, right? No, that's 7, right? Or is that 8? I've lost the plot. I've done it again. I need to, like, can I stop? Like, this is 1, that's 2, and then 3's here, and then 4 was here, and then like that's probably 5, and then that's 6, and there's at least 7. Man, I am on top of it as usual. Anyway, so yeah, like we'll have to spend at least, I would think, like, I said no more. I probably said like 3 or 4 mil, I think, is what I estimated for Red. Obviously, it could be more, it could be less, but like, if it's only that much, I don't think it's that bad, and then like, we don't have to worry about him. Then whenever he shows up, we could just buy him out or not, right? Because I feel like his item pool is probably, like, if we don't do this, I feel like he'll be the last person. Right? Like, right now, Wendell only needs 1 thing, Gracie needs, like, there's 4. So, like, those are pretty small, but Red's still at 27. I feel like we want to, like, if we can just do this, That's like how many potential visits from him it would take to get everything, right? And like if we have to buy out the store like 30 times, which is probably an underestimate, we haven't even seen him 30 times, right? So like, I think it makes sense. Or we get all but like 1 or 2, and then Wisp could help there. Because I have not done anything with Wisp yet, but Wisp will come in handy later. Wisp is basically endgame. When I start considering the use of Wisp, that's endgame. I think. Because even then, that could take a while. Like, I can't remember the rules for him in this game, but like, he can spawn from like midnight to 4 a.m., which is late. Great. Like, I have to stream after midnight. Yahoo. And then find him. Yahoo. That's like, oh. Like, I don't want to... It's not as bad as the morning aerobics, but it won't be amazing. That's all I'm saying. But like, he shows up if you have like a certain amount of weeds in your town, and he can give you a lot of stuff. He can give you stuff from Gracie or Wendell. I don't think he can give you Gulliver's stuff. I think that's like the main one, but I think like he could give you stuff from Red or Gracie or Wendell or Sahara, but that would be a big waste because Sahara's so easy to get everything from. But yeah, basically when I get to that point, that's endgame. And that is like, I think the case, like if that's happening, that means like I've finished all the turnips. Like once I have all the money and I don't have to worry about money anymore, that's when Wisp would come into play. Otherwise, I'm gonna just keep waiting, basically, probably. I guess like I could also like wait. I don't know, like I think it just depends on the order here. That's good enough. Because like, I'm saying maybe like next September we'll be done turnips. It could be after, it could be before. It really depends on like the prices and when the spikes happen. But if I'm consistent in buying for like 2 hours every week, that should be about right. Like if on average I buy 3 to 6 mil, then like that should work out probably. Anyway, but if I finish next September, it's possible, like, you know, have the things done. Like, sure, I missed some summer shirts, but if it's next September, we'll have another summer season, and I'll have a chance to get those shirts. And like the winter shirts, hopefully I should get them this time. I mean, I started late, and I was at the first store, so I didn't have as many available, right? So like winter should be good, and spring's good. If we get all the fall shirts right now, then, right, like if we can get all the fall shirts this season, we're not even a month in and we're over halfway, which is maybe good, maybe bad. If we get all those, then get the last few winter ones. It's only summer. By the time we get to the turnips, the summer ones are probably done. And then Gracie and Wendell are dealt with. Great. Gulliver, there's only 2 items left. Come on. We should have them a year from now. If we don't, that's kind of awful, and we'll just have to keep waiting. But he only has 20 items, in theory, every week. There's 52 weeks in a year. We'll have seen Gulliver like 80 times at that point. At that point, it should happen. Right? Okay, let's just stop. It's September now. I've already seen Gulliver enough to have 18 out of the 20. There's at least 52, like if a year, right? 50. Let's just say there's 50 because it's beyond like beginning of September, whatever, right? Technically, it's a 1 in 20 chance, so that's a 5% chance every time. So you would need that. That's if you only need 1. Technically, right now, we have a 1 in 10% chance of getting a new thing, right? If it's 2 out of 20, you divide that. That's 1 out of 20. That's actually 1 out of 10. That's a 10% chance. So, like, every 10 visits, like, Anyway, I don't remember the last time I got something from Gulliver, but that's like what I'm going off of. It would be a 1 in 10 chance, and then you get the last one, and then technically it'd be like a 1 in 20 chance. So... I have just lost the plot here. Chapter 9, the plot. Best chapter, by the way. I guess I'm spending a good amount of money here, actually. Maybe I'm spending more than I expected to. So maybe this is actually going to pan out better. But yeah, basically, like Gulliver should be done, hopefully, at that point. And then, yeah, really, it's just Gracie and Wendell, and if we can get Red done this year, then, like, Gyroids are the next issue. And then, yeah, there's Wisp. So, if I still need, like, one thing from someone, yeah, Wisp would come in. But basically, yeah, if I finish all the turnips, that's when I would start to consider Wisp, I guess. Or if I'm, like, really close to being done turnips and I have, like, basically all but one thing. Like, Wisp doesn't make sense if there's too many items left. Right? Like, sure, if he'll give you something new guaranteed, but if you have 30 items left, and there's, like, only a chance of him showing up, and it's after midnight, and then I have to run around my town trying to find him, so, like, show up at midnight and run around the town for 10 minutes. Unless you can hear him very distinctly, which is possible. It wouldn't be footsteps, but, like, you might hear ghost noises. But, yeah, so... I'm not sure about that yet, but you would need to be basically done. Or, like, that's when I would consider it. Like, in theory... There's like 5, like right now I need 5 wallpaper, 4 carpet. They're basically all the, like, there's the one thing from Wendell, and then there's the 2 code things, and then there's the 3 event, the big holiday event ones. Okay, so that's like 10 items. That should be mostly done. Then there's 25 shirts. Most of them are from the store at this point, maybe. Actually, yeah, I mean, there's like the 4 winter, 3 summer, and like 10 fall. So that's over half. Then there's 4 from Gracie. There's like 1 from Halloween that we'll get. The 2 ones from the island that we'll get. I guess the 4 from Gracie. Like, yeah, that's that. Then there's still like 8 handhelds, the pinwheels, which we should get from sale day as well. And there's all the furniture, and then there's 29 gyroids. So 29 gyroids, that's like the one other thing that I'm not sure about. We've been doing well for a bit, but then recently, like, there's just been too much rain and no break. But 29, like, that's a pretty good number. There's 127. To have that many now, I feel like that is a good point. But obviously, like, we need to do better. Now, apparently I can use the island. That's why I've saved all the... Oh, no, that's not the only reason why. But I've saved all the gyroids I have. All the ones that are unique are in the house. And the other ones are outside. So that we can take them to the island, bury them, and then I guess the islander will swap them out, potentially. If you keep them happy and give them fruit, they will change up their tune. You know? Apparently, like, they replace like items, and I think it works on gyroids. So if I do that, that could help with the last ones. I don't know how easy that would be. I'm not gonna, like, ideally, I was thinking about doing it this month, but then I got caught up with other things. So maybe I still have time to do it this month or next month, but I do want to work on the island soon. Because then I can learn exactly how it works. Like, I've looked into it, I've tried to do research, try to watch videos to figure out, but it's not, like, super clear. Like, I understand the principle of it, but I don't know if it's as simple as that, and I don't know if there's more efficient ways to do it. So, eventually, I'll figure that out for the furniture, and then, if I need to, with gyroids, I could also try that later. But again, that's, like, more endgame stages. basically, like, yeah, if I still need lots of gyroids, I could bury them and then, like, feed the islander, and then maybe they'd swap them to different ones. And maybe we'd be able to get enough of them that way. And then Wisp could be involved, so, like, the gyroid's part of the end game, and then Wisp is the other end game. But there's just too many different, like, variables. There's no, like, strict end game. It just depends. And, like, in theory, we might not have to do that stuff either. Like, if I just get everything before we're even remotely close to being done the turnips, cool. Great. Like, there could be a world where I no longer have to care about visitors. That might happen before I'm done, like, before I'm done turnips. If I can get this stuff from, like, Gracie, Wendell, Gulliver, which, again, that's, like, 1, 4, and 2 items. I don't know if I said that in the right order. It's not that much left. And then red. But if I can get red in sale day, then all those are done, and I don't have to worry about people visiting. It's just worry about turnips and the other stuff. So, yeah, I mean, it really just depends. There's a lot of variables. It just depends on which way and when I get things in relation to one another. But, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if we'll get to, like, easy, like, I just show up. In theory, I think this is the least likely scenario, but in theory, I could get everything else in the catalog and then only have to show up for turnips. At this point, with how I'm doing with turnips, I don't think that's likely. I feel like I'm doing pretty well with turnips right now, so I don't think that'll happen. Because that's just, like, way more time. I mean, but that would be, like, the easy way, right? Things would be really nice and simple if we did that. Because, like, I could literally show up on the Sunday, buy all the turnips, and then get a spike on the Monday and be like, well, I'll see you in a week. Because, like, if there was legit no point in me playing, then I wouldn't. Like, it was the same as New Horizons. I was streaming every day up until I don't remember when, but I got the last item from the recycling bin. And once that happened, there was no reason. Like, I only checked. I played every day so I could check the bin on weekends or most days or whatever. Just so, like, if it happened that day, we would know. There would be no, like, question. But once that happened, there was legit no reason for me to be there on weekends. And then I went down to 5 days a week. So yeah, in theory, if I got everything else and turnips were still taking forever, I would only stream as much as I need to. But then that would really, like, be dependent on the turnips. Like, in theory, I could skip Sundays, or every Saturday, rather. Right? Like, that would be at most 6 days a week, or 2 days a week, at a minimum. So it could really go either way. But I don't think we're gonna get there. I feel like with how I'm doing with turnips right now, we're not gonna have everything by then. But I could be wrong. There's still the 8 raffle things. I forgot to mention those. Like, I just did, like, all this stuff. I was going off that page, but then, yeah, there's still, like, 27 things, maybe 26 after today for red, and then there's 8 things from the raffle. So the raffle items, that could be a problem. If they get buried and we get them, that's great. Or if we actually get them from the raffle, that's great. I think, like, last month we got 3 new things from the raffle, or it was the month before, and I was really shocked because we had not so great luck with it. But if I got another 3 new things in the raffle at this point, we'd be down to 5, and that would be huge. That's the thing. Like, I don't know if I'll have all the raffle furniture. There's, like, a couple... At this point, I'm worried about a couple different, like, item sources. And the raffle and gyroids are probably the biggest one. Just because, like, they have a larger number. Wendell only has 1. If I needed to use Wisp to get that, it's a pain, but it's only 1. Gracie's at 4, so like by the time I'd use a wisp, I would hope it would be like done or only like 1 or 2. But you never know. And I kind of want to see how long it would take to just get it like without any funny business, but at the same time, like if it's taking way too long and it's like that's the only thing I need left, I'm like more inclined to say, you know what, let's just wrap this up, right? That's why it's like nothing's set in stone. Okay, I feel like I'm really running out of space here, and I'm really trying to squeeze in another inventory. I think I've spent way more than I thought I would here, though. Oh, we actually need another bag. Nice. Okay, so like legit, there's only like 8 bags left, and I brought in extra? And we're 45 minutes in? So like that makes it seem like we're really cooking here, you know? Like, if I say... Let me get my calculator. Let me do some math. Let me say if we have 1.92 mil, and we add 150k to that, we have over 20 mil, or 2 mil, sorry. And then currently we have... Why am I doing it this way? We have 64 bags. We add 5 bags. Okay, and that says we have 69 bags total. There's now 8 bags left over. Okay, subtract 8, we now are at 61. And you can times that by 30k. Congrats. 1.8 mil, supposedly. That's what we spent in here. So I think I've actually managed to spend a lot more than I thought I would. I think if I didn't bring that extra inventory, I probably could have used all the money here. So that's good. I had a feeling like I thought we couldn't, but I guess like that's maybe if it's in the 70s. This price point's enough that we can get away with it, I guess. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I think I'm doing fine. I mean, I'm only a third of the way there when it comes to turnips, but honestly, that just seems huge at this point. I mean, like, before long, I think I'll be at the halfway point, and then, you know, things are just getting better and better at that point. I mean, like, I'm being more consistent. I don't know, the past 2-3 weeks I've been late, so that's just ignore that. Disregard the past few weeks. I've not been 100%. But like, yeah, you know, like we're making progress. It's going well. So I don't think I can drop more here. There's maybe one way I could. Could I? Oh, maybe. Ooh, okay. You know what? I'm getting crazy with it today. We're gonna make this work. Okay, so I still have to drop 5 more. As long as they're obvious, and I can move them in entire inventories at a time. I mean, I could also just drop 3 like this. Alright, let's buy another one. I mean, basically, the whole acre's done. We're spending almost 1.9, or like, yeah, no, we're spending 1.9 at this point. So we're almost at 2. We're 50 minutes in, we still have 45 minutes. So if we immediately got another good acre, I could hit 3 mil and probably do a little bit over 3 mil, but that would be about it. If we got like a not as good acre, we'd be pretty close. It just depends. I'm not sure what kind of luck we're gonna have here, but it'll be at least 11:20. So we'll have 40 minutes after this acre. But honestly, it's a good acre to start with. But yeah, I think we're doing well with turnips for the most part. I want to have, if we can be halfway by the 1 year mark, that'd be cool. Although it's not like it took me a full year to do that because there's that dry patch and that I wasn't buying as much and I'm buying more lately. So like things like I'm getting at a faster rate. I have more money and the systems are improved. It's more efficient. I can buy it, you know. It's just better. I'm just doing better than I was when when I started trying to do it. So as long as we keep that up, like, yeah, we can be done before too long. But yeah, like shirt-wise, I think like by the time I'm done to turnip, I should have all the shirts from the store, hopefully. And then if we have the island stuff, we can remove that from the list. The codes, that's also endgame. I don't want to put the codes in until the end, I guess. I could put them in at any time just to like cut down on the list, but then like, I don't know. Like on one hand, they're only obtained from codes, so I could obtain them at any point, and like they just don't need to really be considered as items I need. But on the other hand, it's like, but like if I leave them till the end, it'll be like, oh, we're so close, and then it's like, oh, we're even closer. So I don't know. Also, then I have to store them in the house, and I don't know which house to put them in. I did do some reorganizing. Like I took all the duplicate gyroids out of the 4th house and I put them outside with the other dupes, and now I can store other stuff there. Like I moved the snowman stuff in that house now, so then the train acre is less cluttered. It could be used for like auxiliary turnip storage now. And then the 3rd house is just all raffle tickets. Eventually, like it can be display stuff, and I think it'll need to be display stuff. But the raffle tickets, honestly, I could put raffle tickets outside, but I don't think there's a good place to put them all. In theory, I could move like a ton up here on the left, but like not that much. That'd be like a month or 2 maybe. Anyway, yeah, we legit only have 4 bags left here. So that's kind of crazy. So yeah, we got at least like 1.9. So we're basically already at 2 mil. So great start. We could do better than that. We're gonna go inside. It's wallpaper. I don't care. Okay. So, I don't know. I wanted to run down, make sure that Joan didn't go to this acre, because if she could go to a different acre, that would be better. So let's just do a quick little thing, try to find her. Okay, she went to a bad acre. Nice. And when I say nice, I don't mean nice, actually. It's not very nice. So, yeah, I don't know how many inventories I've bought yet. I could figure that out if I want to, but I also don't want to. Why don't I just, like, go with this route? Okay, so there's 1 inventory there. I mean, I can just do the math, right? Like, if there's only 4 bags left, it's like... Okay, I said it was 69. Minus 4, 65. I know that 64 is 1.92. So I spent 1.95. That's what we're at right now. Easy. Okay, easy. Simple. Clean even. So an inventory is 129k, which is approximately 4 bags, not quite. So if I bring 3 bags over, I could buy like 3 or 4 inventories down there. Those will get run up, and we can go from there. there's... I mean, I did drop more fruit here, which is potentially a problem, but I think we'll still be fine. That's 6. We need 4. This might be too much money, honestly, but we'll make it work. So yeah, 65 times 30. Divide by 129. 15? $15? Is that even like legit? 15 times 15 is 225. There's 256 in an acre, right? It's 16 by 16? Yeah, that's 256. So basically that would mean that there's like 30 spots that are missing. There's 3 signposts, a rock, that's 4. There's the trees, but there's like probably 10, so that's like 14. There's all this stuff behind the trees. So yeah, I guess 15 is possible in that acre. But it would be hard to pull off if you had, like, if you needed more money, I guess. Interesting. So 15. We're already at 15. That means we only need like 8 to hit 3 mil. So I think we're pretty good on 3 mil today. I guess my grabbing another inventory kind of paid off, but not really. I mean, basically I spent the amount of money that was in that acre. But I think I needed more than that. But I guess it would have depended on what I had in my wallet. If I grabbed like 1 bag of money, I think we would have been good to buy 15. So, sure, I'm at like 15 now. That's honestly crazy. But I mean, we're like 57 minutes in, and I'm just now here, so that makes sense. Because 15 is roughly 45 minutes of buying. If I say it's 3 minutes in inventory, which is my average, then yeah, that's 45 minutes. And now we're here. And I had to like run a bit, and then also find Joan, so... yeah, it's about right. So if I can buy like 4 here, that puts us at 19. And then I'd only need another 4 to hit 3 mil. But if we got Joan in another good acre, we could buy past noon. And depending on which one it was, we could do another like 2 mil. So like technically we could hit 4 mil this week. Maybe. Anyway, I've done like a lot of talk about the GCN game, but I mean we're like a year out, I guess, maybe. I think we're probably a year out. Cause like, for me to start like working about like cleaning up the last furniture, I need to be like way closer or done the turnips. So, yeah, we're not gonna. Things are gonna get very simple after a year, right? Like, I've kind of said this before, but like I have all these raffle tickets saved, and if I have all these raffle tickets saved, and I have all the shirts for that season, and we have enough, then in theory I don't need to keep buying stuff from the store every day. You know, like at that point I can just skip that, and like that will make some days be instant. I show up, is it raining or is it not raining? Do I have to look for gyroids? Check the lost and found if I want. Check the dump. And then I check the turnip prices. That's about it, right? Like I don't actually have to buy stuff at the store at a certain point. And that like takes time. I buy the shirts and the umbrella because they're the cheapest item, but the shirts do require you to say, oh, do you want to try this on? Which is kind of annoying, honestly. But I do that just because it saves me money, and I figure that's easier in the long run, and I waste less. Although at the end of the day, it's probably not super important. Like in theory, I could just have a couple bags of money near my house that I take from that are like independent of everything else. But you know what? It works for me. And, you know, we're going to be, again, done with the raffle stuff at a certain point. Like, we need 8 raffle items. I'm like, sorry, when I say done, like, first, we're going to have leftovers. Like, so far, I think April's the only month I don't have tickets, which is that's the true tragedy so far of the run. I used all the tickets I had, which was more than enough to get the odds. Like, that was more than enough to be on odds, and we did not get the item I needed. And it was the grand prize, and now I have no leftover tickets. So April, we're going to have to buy a bunch. That is very clear at this point. Just unfortunate how that played out. Okay, so I guess we'll get 3 inventories here at this rate, which is fine. The money can get moved back up after. But yeah, if we're at 15, this should make us at 18. So we only need 5 more to hit 3 mil. I think we can do more than 3 mil. Even if we don't get a good acre, I think like one more acre now could get us like enough. The right one. And then it's still like gonna be 11:30. I don't know. It's getting close. It's getting close. If she ends up in a good one now, then yeah, we can just keep buying, go beyond, and then it'll be easy. But yeah. I was saying something. Oh yeah, like the shirts and the raffle. Yeah, so like once I have the raffle tickets, and if I don't need to buy them, that's great. But then eventually there could be a time when I don't need any raffle item, right? If I have all the raffle items and I don't even have to worry about the raffle, I don't have to keep the tickets at all. That house can get cleaned out, and then like that's a super nice thing. Like that would be huge. Getting all the red stuff, kind of huge. Getting like there's certain things. And getting everything from Sahara easy. It doesn't have much effect on the run. When Sahara shows up, actually no, sorry, the Sahara one's kind of better. If I got everything from Wendell, then every time Wendell showed up, I would either have to ignore him for the day or help him out so then the next visitor gets decided sooner. Same with Gracie. Now, obviously, with, like, Gracie, I could just show up and, like, not wash the car well and not have to try, and then she'd be like, ugh, get out of here, you're useless. Dumb hicks in this dumb hick town, am I right? But, like, with Wendell, I'd have to go and get fish, which would be kind of annoying. But I could also just keep a bunch of fish in inventories. Oh, hey, sorry. They do disappear, but it would take... Let me explain the visitor system in this game, because it's specific. Okay. There's more to it in this game. Oh, also, hello, wow. What, 2 people saying hi at once? I can't handle this. It's crazy talk. It's all good. So in this game, visitors are determined by the town ranking that you have. I actually don't have the specifics, so let me pull up the wiki real quick. I only know what it's like at the good part, not the end. Okay, we're gonna go here because I don't want her to show up in this acre. Okay, field rank. The wiki's being very slow today. That's okay. We're gonna wait for that to load while I look around. Just getting your AC fixed, you know what? Understandable. We all need our fix. Okay, this is the page I want. Yeah, okay. Okay. There it is. I believe I've found the page. So, yeah, having a perfect town, like not perfect, but a well managed, maintained rather, town is actually important for visitors in this game. I mean, technically your town would start probably like at rank 3 or 4. I don't know. There's like 6 ranks, whatever. It's like 0 to 6. That is okay. That is the cabana chair. So that's actually good. That's not a pitfall. We're up an item today. That's super exciting. Okay. I mean, yeah, that's fair. Just watching someone run around town, buying turnips, doing all their stuff. It's pretty good if you're jet lagged. Don't have to worry too much. Man, I'm trying to like keep an eye out on Jones and also try to explain this, and I feel like it's not the best. Anyway, your town starts out with all the trees. Your town rank in the first game is basically only determined by trees. It's only trees, right? If there's weeds, that causes problems, but you don't get points from anything. The only things you get points from are trees. If there's weeds, then there's 5 weeds in an acre, then you're in trouble. But if you have flowers in that acre, then it's offset. That's the gist of it. But anyway, the rate at which visitors show up to your town is determined by that rank. If you have the best rank 6, with 17 or more points, or you have rank 5, which is 13 to 16 points, then a visitor shows up every 2 days. Good. If... Oops, that's the wrong thing. But then, like, if you have a rank 0 town, which is terrible, it would be every 2 to 7 days. But, like, having that would be, like, awful. You'd have to have, like, no trees. But then, like, yeah, if you have only, like, 1 to 2 points, it's 2 to 6 days. Like, I feel like in most cases, it would be, like, 2 to 3 days. But, like, even the extra day just makes things take so much longer. Also, wow, that sounds like a long trip. That's a couple of flights, I think. I mean, I don't know. Based on where they are, I don't think that's a direct flight. Okay, where's Joan? Is she here? 2 planes. Okay, 21 hours excluding layover. Yeah, that sounded like a bad one. Okay, okay, she's here. Great. This is not what I wanted. I gotta drop these turnips. I forgot to do that too. Anyway, yeah, so it's... Oh, interesting. Interesting. But yeah, basically it's every 2 days. So if Red shows up today, I could buy out his stock today, and then he would leave, and it would determine the next visitor immediately today. But if I wait to buy stuff from Red tomorrow, like until tomorrow, which I'll probably wait to do, then he would show up the next day. Or, sorry, that would get determined the day, like the day that he leaves. But, like, it only determines it, like, when you load the game, I think. If that makes sense. if I show up and it's Wendell, I help him out on all 3 characters, he leaves the town immediately, it'll pick the next visitor. But then there's certain visitors that like don't leave until the next day, like Sahara. So Sahara is like actually a problem if she shows up, because I can't like make her leave earlier. And then there's like a big gap. Right, like if I look at like my tracking for like when people show up, if Sahara shows up, there's 2 days of nothing afterwards. Because until I show up the next day, doesn't pick the next thing for Sahara. After Sahara, sorry. So like if Sahara or a sale happens, those are like worst case scenarios. Like if a sale happens 9 times out of 10, which is not actually the accurate like numbering, like 3 out of 4. Like 3 out of 4 times it's not it. Because I have all the wallpaper, furniture, or carpet. I only need clothing from the sales. But if the sale happens, then it doesn't determine the next event or visitor until the following day. So again, it's 2 days of nothing. But if it was Red or Wendell or Gracie, it would only be 1 day. So, but I guess like with Gracie and Wendell, it's, I don't know. Depends. I think there was something funny I could do with Katrina, but I don't know if I've done that lately. Yeah, there is one funny thing I can do with Katrina. Because Katrina shows up at 9 p.m. So, like, if you wait for Katrina... Because she shows up at 9 p.m. one day and leaves 9 p.m. the next day. So if you show up after 9 p.m. when she's left, it'll determine who the next visitor will be. But if you don't, then you'll go the next day, and then it'll be 2 days of nothing. So yeah, if you want to be super efficient about it, you gotta like load the game at random times, just to like have it redetermine things. I don't remember what I was talking about when I got onto this, but whatever. She can fit a lot. I can fit a lot. It works. That's like the 19th inventory I've bought from her so far. So, yeah, she's got a lot. I don't know if this is going to be the last acre I buy from. We have 22 minutes left, so it's like I could try to get her in a different acre after buying a bit more here, but I'm not sure yet. I don't know if I have a preference for visitors at this point. I mean, yeah, that sounds like a good little holiday, so that's nice. Hopefully the jet lag goes away soon. You know, the whole... I see a lot of people online when they come to the stream and they say, like, they always call it population growing. And I do understand that it is on the game case. But I never, like, called it that, and it's not officially subtitled that, so that's always been one of those things that, like, strikes me as... I don't know if odd's the right word, but... I don't know, I always just called it Animal Crossing growing up. I know that's, like, technically its name, but I guess, like, maybe, like, within a smaller community it's referred to as population growing. But is that because... I know it's just a tagline, it's not the title. Because it's on the little sign underneath the thing. But I guess that's also because there's like 4 different releases of that game. I guess, well, more than that, but whatever. That's like the 4. I know, it's one of those weird things. As for the visitor situation, I'm of 2 minds. You know, like in this game, like I want more visitors because I want to get more things. But like it being like a day or two apart, it's like okay. But like on New Horizons, yeah, it is every day. But there's also so much more in the game to get. And if they weren't as frequent, like nobody would complete it. And having completed it, I was waiting for one pair of socks from Kicks, I think. That was the last item I needed. Took me 4 years to get a pair of socks that were in the game at launch. And that bugged me. It wasn't even a 2.0 item. It was just something that was in base game. And I was like, it just took forever. It took me forever, and I had friends helping me as well. I would had friends who would check their islands every week. They'd all go to Harv's and check to see what Kicks was selling that week. And it still took 4 years. So I'm not... That is a question that I'm going to leave up to your interpretation. That is not a question I officially answer here. I have everything though. I am playing on my Wavebird, if that helps. But I also want to complain. This is my next point is that I'm going to complain about New Leaf. I had someone come into the stream maybe like a month ago. I don't remember when, and I think they mentioned the deluxe mod. And I was like, oh, that's cool. I mean, I think it's cool. Personally, for me, like I'm trying to like complete them, and it's like I just want to play like complete the game as it was. But I do think that the deluxe mod, from what I heard, adds some pretty cool stuff. Like I think it adds like good quality of life. I think did it do like tool switching? I think maybe. I don't know. Tool switching's big for me. Yeah, so I've thought about that. I think I've mentioned it at one point. There is one issue with this game and adding it to the Switch 2 and NSO, Nintendo Switch Online Classics Library, whatever you want to call it. The calendar in game only goes up until like 2030, and it doesn't go beyond that point. I think the reason has been pointed out, and it's associated with like the Lunar New Year. No, not the Lunar New Year. The moon, the moon, the harvest moon, the 9th moon of the year, whatever. There was like an algorithm they like wrote, and then it didn't like work properly, so they just hard coded in dates, and they only hard coded in the dates up until 2030. So like they made it so the calendar just loops after the end of every year after 2030. So like if they added it now, it wouldn't work after that point, and I feel like they wouldn't. I feel like they need to fix that if they were to do that. I don't know, because like realistically, like we just got the Switch 2. That was like 8 years after the Switch 1, so like we're not getting a sequel to this until after 2030. So I feel like they need to do something there. Like as long as they fix it, I think it's possible that it will happen. I don't know when though. I guess they haven't added too much to that library specifically lately, right? They added like Strikers, right? I remember that. They're just out of nowhere. They're like, Super Mario Strikers, it's coming back. I'm like, nice. Good game. Oops, we still have one more to buy. Okay, I wanted to complain about New Leaf. I do like New Leaf. Again, I think like New Leaf or New Horizons is my favorite one, probably. I complain about New Leaf though because I don't recall ever seeing Gracie. I never upgraded my store to like the max thing. I had like 110 or 120 hours in that game, and I did not have the next store. And that was a problem. Okay, I have 15 minutes. I could buy like one more inventory probably. And then maybe look for another one, because that's like another 3. Sorry, so I bought like 15 here, and then I bought 3 here, so that's 18. And now I'm at 3 here, so we're at like 21. Let's look what's at 22. I don't know if I agree on that one. I think like... I don't know. The whole Switch to Switch 2 thing, I think there's a lot to it, and I don't want to like say everything. But like... We had the Wii, and then we had the Wii U. They could have called that the Wii 2. But I don't know if that would have been a worse name or what. And like, they're not... I mean, sure, they have the gamepad, and that is different. And this year, it's not different. It's like the most direct a sequel can get in Nintendo terms, I guess. Or like, successor, rather, right? Like, it's like... The Wii U is essentially the Wii 2, but the Switch 2 is essentially the Switch 1. I mean, it makes sense. Okay, that's fair. I just don't remember ever seeing Gracie in that game, and I was like, where is Gracie? And I haven't looked into it too much, but you need to get her, you have to like have X amount of her fashion checks before you can upgrade to the like Emporium, or is it after the Emporium? I don't remember. I don't remember the names. I honestly kind of was annoyed that they like took away Nookingtons, and I was like, what do you mean? Nook doesn't even work here anymore. I understand things change, but I don't remember the name. There's like Nookling Junction and TNT something, TNT Emporium. The PS5 Pro, the PS Pro is definitely not like new generation. I think Switch 2 is like closer to next gen, but like I don't know. Yeah, that's fair. I just like want more stuff. I don't know, it feels like I was like, how did I play this long and then not get anything? I don't know, like when I was a kid and I played this game, it felt like getting the store upgraded is like a lot of work. And it was like something that took a long time. It's not. If you know what you're doing, you do it immediately. Like you can easily get the store closed second day if you really want to. But realistically, you're gonna get it like this next day. Like you have to, like in this game, you have to sell enough for the fishing rod to show up. Like, when you first start, I think it's only ever the shovel in stock. And once you've spent a certain amount of money, then the other tools get added to the pool. So it's like you have to sell enough, then you can get the fishing rod, and then you can, like, try to fish to make money or something. Okay, so, like, that's an orange. Aren't you glad I dropped these turnips? I can't even see them. Okay. I'm gonna leave that acre. I bought 4 there? Was that 4 there? I don't even know what I'm doing anymore. We're getting down to the wire here. So like things will either be like done or things will not be done soon. That's a great sentence, go me. So that's okay, so that's like 15, that's an inventory, that's an inventory, that's 1, that's 1. So that's 4, right? I will explain that in just a moment. I have not explained it today, so you're good. Sorry, I'm just double counting. Alright, this is 4, right? That's 9, that's basically 9, that's 9, that's 9, and that's 6, and then that's 6, that's, yeah, okay, so there's 4 here. So that's 4, and then 3, that's 7, and then that. So we're at 22. Okay, so I'm gonna look around for Joan. This is probably the last acre we're finding Joan in. Okay, okay, Joan. Jeez. Basically, we're going from whatever we had in this acre, but now we have more space and it's nicer. So I guess I can just stick with this and make it work. Okay, yeah. So, turnips are for making money. Yes. I don't know how familiar you are with the game. Do you know about the post office model? That is the important question here. I'm gonna take the silence for a no. So there's an item in this game. It's the post office model. You get it from the post office, believe it or not. You know what's in the post office in this game? Your bank account. If you max out your bank account, they give you the post office model. So yeah, I'm doing the turnips so I can make enough money to max out the bank account. The bank account maxes out at 1 billion bells. Yeah, there's a model for most, if not everything in the game, in this game. I really like those little model pieces. I think that's pretty cool. And then yeah, the post office one is obviously the hardest one to get, just because that's ridiculous. 1 billion bells. There's no reason for anyone to have near that amount of money. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, you're never gonna use that much. Things aren't that expensive. There's no interest in this game as far as I'm aware. Like, it's just whatever you put in the bank is there. So yeah, I'm at like 340 mil basically right now. So I'm over a third of the way there at this point. I mean, yeah, playing it casually, like when I played as a kid, like yeah, I would call that pretty casual, I guess. And yeah, you do know things, but there's also things that you just don't realize. Like the game's more complicated than it like lets on, obviously. But yeah, basically like I do turnips every week, basically. Not every week, but most weeks. There's some week where it's like doesn't make as much sense. And like yeah, the price changes things a lot. Right, like I'm buying at 86 bells. In this game, if you get a spike, it's always guaranteed to be 8 times whatever the selling price is before. So if I was to buy this week and then sell, it'll be 8 times more. You take out the 1 times because that's what you put in, so it's 7 times in profit. But obviously, if that's how it works, then if the price is higher, then it takes less time to buy because you're buying more in less time, and the profit's always constant. So yeah, I don't buy as much obviously when the price is low because it's just not as easy to. But like if it's a good price, which again it's from 70 bells to 129 bells, so there's quite a range there, right? Like that's basically almost double. So if you get like a max price, you're buying things at almost double the speed you would if it's 70. And there's other factors that make that like even faster than double. So yeah. Anyway, it's a lot of work, right? I've been here for an hour and a half now. Basically all of today so far has been turnips. I like to try to buy like 2 hours every week. I was a little slow in getting started today, so that's why I started just before 10:30. Usually I like to be here at 10, so I have 2 hours, and then if I get Joan in an acre before noon, we can continue buying past noon. Normally Joan leaves at noon, but if you're in an acre with Joan before the clock hits noon, she will stay in that acre until you leave. So, yeah, there's a lot of fun little rules and quirks with this game. And if you know them all, you can get a lot more done. Right? Because it's 11:55. I've bought one inventory here. This is our second one. We'll be into our third when it hits noon, and then I'll still have money left over to keep going. We can get some extra inventories. I think we'll probably hit about like 3.5 mil today, maybe, in spent money. So let's say 3.5 mil. You multiply that by 7. So we're looking at like 22.5. Okay, no, I'm doing this wrong. Sorry. More than that. What am I talking about? Right, 3 mil would be 21 mil in profit. 4 mil would be 28 mil in profit. We're like halfway. We're looking at like, you know, close to 25 mil in profit this week. If we hit a spike. And of course, if it's taking me an hour and a half, 2 hours to buy all these turnips, it's probably going to take around the same time to sell them. There are some things I can do to make selling easier, but generally speaking, it does take around the same amount of time that I put in. So yeah, it's obviously the worst part of this challenge. When I say challenge, I mean getting the 100%. That's 2 inventories there. I mean, yeah, I'm happy to explain. It is like the most ridiculous thing ever, honestly. I don't know why this is in the game. I don't know why they want you to max out your bank account. But it's like just ridiculous enough for me to say, yeah, let me do that. This will be a ridiculously dumb flex for me to have in the future. People are like, oh, what's the hardest thing you've done in a game? I 100%ed the Animal Crossing for the GameCube. It took me hours of just buying and selling turnips, by the way. And of course, there's a lot of things in this game that make turnips more painful. But like I said, the turnips are always constant price-wise, and I think that might like offset some of those quirks. Like in this game, you can only buy batches of 100 at a time. In every other game, you talk to Joan. She gives you a little numpad to say how many turnips do you want to buy. You go blah, 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 done. Okay, you've bought a full inventory of turnips in like 20 seconds. Congrats. Takes me 3 minutes to do it here. And again, you can only buy 100 at a time. And the money, right? You can only put money in, like at most a bag of 30k versus the 990k in all the other games. So, I have tons of money in every acre, but it's not as much as it could be if the bags had, you know, higher limits. But yeah, I mean, I started this back in December last year, so I'm like 9 months in. The turnips haven't been constant. I started the turnips in January, but back then I was only really, like, most of the time I only bought like 2 mil worth, but then I started looking into the math, and I realized that if I only did 2 mil, it would take me like 70 weeks. Like, yeah, near the beginning, it was like high 60s, 70 weeks where I would need to get a spike. And I was like, that's more than a year. That doesn't happen every week. We can't do that. So right now, it's looking like maybe I'd be done. If I can keep this up, I could maybe be done like September next year. Again, like, there's different prices which affect things, right? Like, you can buy more or less based on the price, and that's just random. But then there's also, like, than just the odds of whether it is a spike or not, and that changes. Like, it's always basically a 50% chance of a spike, but it doesn't always feel like that's the case. So, changes with time. Anyway, we've hit noon. We're like 3 inventories in here. And again, I bought 15 in the first, then 3 in the next, so that puts it at 18, and then I bought 4 over there, so that's 22. 23 was my goal, because that's about 3 mil. I've now bought 3 here, so we're at 25. This will be 26, and then I can maybe hit like 28 or 29. But I think 3.5 mil is probably where we're going to sit at today, which is pretty decent. Can't really complain too much about that. And then yeah, we'll just see how it goes. I've got, so far lately, I've had 3 spikes in a row, which has been pretty nuts. I've been very happy about that. I don't know about 4 spikes in a row. That might be pushing it, but anything's possible. So we're gonna see. You don't think you could ever do this calculated turnip grind? Not your playstyle? Hey, I don't know if it's mine either. But yeah, like, I want to do it, like, just legit, like, everything. I don't want, like, any questions about anything. It's just like, hey, this is how long... Because, yeah, I guess, like, that's the thing. Like, I've seen people who have, like, you know, done streams where they, like, time travel and they, like, only buy when it's, like, whatever, right? For me, it's like, okay, let's do this in real time. That changes things, right? Because I don't want it to take forever. So, like, how long does it take if you do it this way? You know, like, it's a question that I want to pose and then prove. You know, it's like, how long would it take to actually do this if you were to play in real time? And, like, have all these things. And it's like, here's how it will be if I do it. And then, obviously, it's not, like, the answer. It is just a answer, right? Like, I show up at 10 a.m. If you were crazy, you could show up at 8 a.m. and buy turnips for 4 hours. If you were even crazier, you could wake up at 6 a.m. and buy turnips for 6 hours. I don't know if I'll ever do that. Maybe, just maybe, at the end. Like, when I'm closer to being done. I've said it before in different streams, but I feel like the further in I am, the more likely I am to do something ridiculous like that. Like, right now, I'm a third of the way in. Let's say I'm, like, 2/3 of the way in. I think 2 hours, I think, is, like, a decent amount, you know? Like, an hour is not enough to make significant progress. 2 hours is a decent amount to make progress. If I did more, obviously I'd make more. But then that makes selling harder. And to always have that time, like I messed up a couple weeks ago and I did not have enough time to sell everything I bought. But that was the first time that happened. But like, yeah, there's too many things. Like the store closes at 10 p.m. Like you need to have X amount of time if you have other things going on. It makes things harder. So it's like that's why like this number is manageable, right? Like if I bought for 6 hours, I would need to sell for 6 hours. That's not always possible. I mean, you could do it in batches too. Like you could. I mean, the 6 hour thing, it just like it becomes less feasible the more you do it, obviously. So it's just like here's how it would go if you did it this way, and like here's how I did it to make it more efficient. So like it's just like that's the question I want to like pose and answer. Just so like here's how it works if you want to do it like completely just legit. Also, it's just a flex. Do I need the flex? Not really, but I'm like, you know, like I'm considering 100%ing every Animal Crossing game just for fun. Fun, I say. Fun, I say, because this is fun. Okay, it's fun. I'm considering it, but like if I did that, that would be a ridiculous flex. People would be like, are you okay? And I'd be like, maybe, maybe not. I think people would be right to question that. Oops. But I mean, like that's like a long-term goal. Okay, I think maybe we can actually buy one more inventory after this, so that's cool. But this is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're at 5 here. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Guess we'll finish a little bit after 12. Not too late. Not too early. Whatever. Probably not quite 12 hours. Or sorry, 2 hours. But whatever. But yeah, like by the time I'm done this one, I think it'll be like September next year. It'll be like sometime late next year. And I think like the earliest we'd get news or a release of the next Animal Crossing would be late next year. That's always been my gamble. Just based off of everything else. Like I think we'll hear about it earliest late next year. All these people are like, where's the Animal Crossing news? They can wait. They don't understand. We never get Animal Crossing news this soon. So yeah, I'm kind of thinking I finish this one, take a break, and then wait for the new one. And then after that one's done, then I would take a break and then maybe consider doing another one. But the other ones get more complicated. Like, recording a DS is a pain, I think. Then I was like, okay, well I need to record a 3DS. I think recording a DS is annoying. So I think recording the 3DS is better, but I think that's also a pain. But if I could record a 3DS, technically I could record, I think then I could record both like Wild World and New Leaf. Obviously City Folk is like an easy one where I don't have to worry about it, but like, do I really want to do City Folk next? I don't know what makes the most sense, right? I did New Horizons, the most recent one, and then I went back to the first one because I figured that'd be a good point. But now, like, where would it be good to go to? Should I just go in order? I don't know. Because, like, yeah, both of the handhelds are a pain to record. I feel like New Leaf would be, like, the best one to do next. Like, this one's nostalgic to me, and, like, cool and all that, but I feel like New Leaf is, like... Actually, let me just... I don't know. I think all of them have, like, pros and cons. If you're looking, like, cons, for, like, both Wild World and City Folk, they want you to get a max bank account. They both have interest, but the interest isn't that significant. But I could have multiple characters and then multiple bank accounts with interest, and then that could maybe help make money. I was thinking about that in this game, but like there's no interest, and even if there was, the amount of effort it would take to like put everything in a bank account would not really be worth the profit you'd be making. But in games where it's easier to like move money and deposit it, that might not be the case. Like, yeah, I'm trying to use like everything at my disposal. Like using extra characters is super handy and all that and blah blah blah. I think this will be the last inventory I purchase. And then I still have a couple more things to do. But yeah, like, I don't know which one I'd want to do next after this. Like, I think it would be the newest one. I would wait, do the new one, and then after that, we'd see what happens. But like, yeah, Wild World, it's like a pain to record. Yeah, I don't have any of that stuff set up. I've never done any home brewing. I haven't looked into it too much, but I mean, like, I have years before I have to look into that, and maybe, like, it'll get even better or easier. I think that's also a possibility. So that's why I'm also not looking into it too much right now, because it's like, what if things change? But, yeah, so, like, recording the DS or 3DS would be a bit of a pain. Obviously, recording the Wii, very easy. Very simple. If I had bought the Wii U version of Wild World, I could have done that, but I did not buy that. I learned about that too late. So that's not happening. And where am I going with this? Yeah, anyway, so it's like, I think like the Wild World and City Folk are kind of similar to this one. You'd have to get the full bank account, but I don't think Wild World has that much extra stuff that would make it too much harder to do. I think I remember you mentioning that before, and that would be a pretty huge undertaking, but I think that would be cool. Because people keep talking about like re-releasing Animal Crossing games, and it's not really happened. I guess it did with like the virtual console, because like the Wii U version. But I feel like, yeah, New Leaf would be a cool one to get ported, because obviously I think it's the best one that would need to get ported. Again, I know that we have our differences with like how we feel about New Horizons. I think like it does some good stuff, and it, you know, also doesn't do some stuff. But I feel like New Leaf does a lot of really good stuff. I don't think like New Leaf does anything wrong. I think New Horizons does some things wrong and some things right. But like the things it does right are pretty cool, I guess. Maybe that's an accurate way for me to say how I feel. But that's going to be it for turnips right now. So again, we did 15, 3 for 18, then we did 4, which makes 22. And then here we have 1. Like that's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We got 6 here. So that's 28, and then I have 29 in my inventory. I haven't really decided where I am on which one's better, but yeah, you probably do have a huge preference to it in comparison. Like, I don't know, I think like it'll be interesting to see what they do with the next one. Okay, so I think we're at 29 inventories. So if I say 29... times 129, that says 3.7 mil, so that's not bad, not bad. We're not even at 2 hours, that's pretty good. So we have stuff in that acre and then also this acre. I will run a couple inventories up to the store right now. I don't want to move all of them. I mean, for the price, I think we did okay for the price. 3.7 mil with not even 2 hours at this price. I could have obviously hit 4 if I had a little bit more time or if we had different luck. I was buying in this acre, and we got, what, 7? Got 7 inventories there. If I had it in a different acre, I could have maybe got another 15. So yeah, depending on how the luck played out, we could have definitely hit, like, over 4 mil. But I think this is good enough for today. But yeah, I just want to bring a couple more inventories over. If I can get all the ones in that bottom acre, then we're good. Right? Like, I like to have everything so I don't, like, misplace anything. All this stuff doesn't get moved. It's close enough. It's just a huge acre. Fine. Then we have the police station. We have the museum. We have this acre. But if I move, like, all 3 from here up today, and then if I don't have to sell them tomorrow, I will continue to move more of them up, probably. We need the one more, yep, cool. Okay, so I'll do one more trip like this, and then I gotta dig up that thing, and then check the store, check the dump, and then that's probably it. But yeah, I've looked into, like, the other ones briefly. I haven't, like, looked into them, like, super in depth, but I would need to get a maxed bank account in both Wild World and City Folk, which does not sound fun. I like Wild World a lot. City Folk I did not like that much. I forget that they even have drop all. You gotta just manually select them. That's it. Done. Oh yeah, that would be nice if we can get a drop all. I mean, honestly, it'd be very nice. I don't think, like, completing Wild World is that bad. I think, for the catalog. Maybe. I looked at it briefly. I don't think it's that bad. But I feel like Red might be pretty whack in that game. I don't remember. Also, I guess I already brought that 3rd one up here. Because I only bought 3 there and I already moved it. So maybe I'll just grab something dumb from the police station. Get the ones that are obscured more. It's very obvious what I need to get. Which means I should take the ones behind the sign. It's all so I don't get mistaken. Okay, so that's it for moving turnips. Anyway, I keep trying to think about this. I can't think about it. Basically, I know for the bank account, you need to max the bank account in Wild World and City Folk, but you only need to get, like, 100 mil in New Leaf. I like how I'm saying only 100 mil, but that's like a 10th of what you need to do in this game, so that's way easier. And apparently, I think you only actually need 50, because you could also get that item from, like, a camper. It's like a safe, I think. So technically you could get that a different way, and you'd only need to save 50 mil, which is, again, really easy. This is different. Blue scale shirt. That one we did not see before. Right? Sorry, that's not the one I dropped. Oh, that's new. That's new! Alert the media. We got a new shirt. Huge. Huge. This is like a yellow bar, and there's the sherbet thing. Yeah, okay. Those are the ones I dropped. I probably should have sold them because it's confusing, but whatever. It's a little late for that. But new shirt, super exciting. And there's a cabana armchair buried down here that I've seen. And I've confirmed that it's not a pitfall, so that's also very exciting because that's a red item. It's not the last cabana item. We still need the bed. But this is still pretty huge. Nice. I'm very happy about that. It's not every day I get to mark off furniture. There you go, right? Okay, so we're up. In Wild World, the German version exclusively has different names for real paintings versus fake. Oh, that's funny. That's like a very easy way, I guess. If you... That's fun. I like that. If you know it, it's easy. But I guess like in Wild World and the other games, it's like super not obvious. Like I feel like differences only started in New Leaf, if I'm not mistaken. Like in Wild World, you just have to go and like, you got scammed, buddy. Anyway, I know like the money thing is like the big difference between like Wild World and City Folk versus New Leaf. That shirt in the middle looks new. Are we getting 2 new shirts today? That's crazy. And that one to the left of it also looks a little new. I don't recognize that. This is a little crazy. Okay, cool. I'm glad that I have that information correct. But yeah, like I'm curious. I kind of want to like do them all so then I can say what's the worst one or easiest one or hardest one and like blah blah blah. Then I would be a true knowledgeable person on the matter. I think I already am at this point, but I'd have even more authority. Okay, what is this? A concierge shirt. Okay, that is new. Are you telling me? Are you telling me we're getting 3 new shirts today? What is this? A subdued print. Okay, no. That's not new. The heck is this? I don't remember seeing this. You know, I still have the wiki open. So let me just check it there. Oops. Okay, I think maybe I've already bought this lately. It is a fall shirt. So I've probably only seen it once and I don't remember it, which I guess makes sense, but whatever. Okay, so this is 477, which is correct. This should be 22, that is correct, and that is unchanged. Okay, so 2 new shirts, 1 from the store, 1 from the dump, and a red item that got buried. Pretty huge day. Pretty huge day. I mean, it brings the shirts down even more, which is really nice. We only need 23 shirts now. That's kind of crazy. Honestly, like, the more the numbers go down, the happier I get. Okay, I think that's a good place for me to wrap up, though. The thing with the deluxe versions is you can also add items you can no longer get through codes or online DLC. I don't know how I look at those. Yeah, I've looked into like the code distribution stuff. I know like Wild World had like download play stuff, which I remember reading about it, but I don't remember too much. And I think like, yeah, City Folk had a lot of items that got distributed, but I don't know if they end up in the catalog, so I don't know about doing that. That's another thing that I've worried about with like getting 100%. I know codes in this game are simple. There's like they reverse engineered the thing so you can just like do it. Yeah, I was very specific on New Horizons with how I did all the color variations. For anything that you can just order, I would obviously customize everything so my catalog was full and had all the things. But for things that were unique and you could not just get, okay, and then also there's the craftable things, right? You can craft these things and then customize them to each thing's fine, okay? The things that you cannot craft or buy, I wanted every single unique variation and like a living catalog. So that meant I needed like 8 sloppy sofas, 8 sloppy beds, whatever, like all this stuff from like the recycling bin that just shows up with really bad odds. I wanted all those to customize and have that. Then I wanted like one of every Gulliver thing, all the events, I did that. Like I did all that stuff. So it was a lot. And that was just the rule I made. It wasn't that bad. I mean, comparatively. Like I had all that done before I had the last regular sock from Kicks. So anyway, yeah, appreciate the company. Appreciate you both hanging out. It's nice to chat while I'm here for hours. Makes it go by a little quicker, not gonna lie. But yeah, I think we got about like 3.7, 3.8 mil, so that's not too bad. Pretty happy with that based on the price. And we got 2 new shirts and a red item, so that's really cool. Tomorrow we'll see how the turnips go. Tuesday there's the sports fair, so that's important. And then we're kind of chilling for the rest of the week. Also, Red will show up tonight, but I'm gonna wait to get him tomorrow just in case. So yeah, Red tomorrow. Check the turnips tomorrow, get that figured out, and then the sports fair, and we'll go from there. Anyway, I'm out. Thanks for hanging out. See you around. Bye.